Welcome to the Does This Happen to You podcast, where we explore the funny side of truth is stranger than fiction stories. Our story this week is from the book Stripped Down, a Naked Memoir by Stacey Keith. Check it out on Amazon.com. Mobsters are to gambling what junkies are to speedball. It's the entire mobster mindset encapsulated in a pair of dice. Ego, testicles, luck, and an extra dose of superstition. I realize this when Ralph takes me to an Indian casino in Ledyard, Connecticut. I've never seen anyone more excited. The casino is the gift-strewn Christmas tree, and Ralphie the little boy who comes war-whooping down the stairs. I'm wearing a crushed red velvet cocktail number that looks as though it's been sandblasted to my skin. Ralph's got on his best banded hem golf shirt. And as outrageous a cliche as we are for mobster and mistress, we actually blend in with the clientele at the casino. Boobs, bling, and peroxide blondes repeat like a pattern on the carpet. The casino is a Disney version of Monte Carlo. Boat-sized crystal chandeliers shimmer from the ceiling. Shiny new concept cars slowly rotate on platforms in the lobby. Waitresses in fishnets and flouncy rumba pants hustle to provide free, watered-down alcohol to the dice-rattling alcoholics. The sounds are the same as a pinball gallery: clinking, rolling, slapping. The endless pumping of canned air onto the game floor does nothing to dispel the staleness of cigarette smoke. Nearly everyone looks tired and washed out and unnaturally alert. Ralph rubs his hands together and looks around. "I'm heading for the blackjack tables. Where are you going to be?" "I don't know. I've never been to a casino before." "What?" Ralph seems genuinely shocked. "Do you ever pull your fucking head out of a book?" "Only when I'm having an orgasm." "Christ! Okay, here's what we're going to do." He snaps his fingers at me in a way that I interpret to mean, "Get your wallet." I pry out one of Sammy's hundreds. I don't particularly want to part with it, seeing as how I had to sit by the creep to get the thing. "I got no time to explain how you play blackjack. So you're going to take that fucking C-note there, give it to the broad at the counter, and she's going to give you some quarters. Then you're going to take the quarters and play those fucking slots." I look at the slots. I look at Ralph. "Okay, Christ, let me show you." He marches me to the counter, pushes my 100 at the lady behind the plexiglass deflection shield. In exchange, I receive a big gulp full of quarters. Ralph calls them quatas. He herds me to the nearest slot machine, one halfway down a row of similar machines that look like huge gleaming jute boxes. Impatiently, he feeds the thing quarters and then pulls a handle. We wait. Wheels spin inside a window. Nothing. He does it again. "Got the idea now?" he says. Yeah." He turns to leave. "Ralph?" "Yeah?" "What combination wins?" "You want 3 of a kind." For a moment, I watch Ralph haul ass to the blackjack tables. He goes straight to the invitation only, which must be one hell of an invitation. They probably harvest your organs if you can't pay. I feel a little unprotected without Ralph. He's so big and strong and sure of himself. I feed the machine. I pull the lever. An unmistakable clatter of coins. What do you know? Maybe $50 worth lay in a pile on the metal tray. I scoop out the coins, then feed the machine again. On my 3rd try, I win another 20, then 50. I'm on a roll. The old lady next to me, wearing a Glen plaid tam o'shanter and smoking a cigarette rasp. "I get first dibs on your machine if you go to the can. I've been here since 4 o'clock and I'm down by 100. "Since 4? Just pulling that stupid lever?" I glance around. Everyone else seems engrossed in their respective addictions. I feed the machine. This time the quarters fall so copiously and noisily, I don't know where to put them all. Apparently sensing my distress, the old lady hops off her stool, then returns with 4 more big gulp cups. The machine is still belching out quarters. "What the hell, honey?" she says. "Are you speaking French to the thing?" "I don't know. It keeps giving me money," I apologize. Using my hand as a slide shovel, I coax the coins into 3 of the 4 cups. I have no idea how much money I've won. My heart's beating faster as I line up the cash-heavy cups beside me. I'm worried that somebody might steal them. I wonder if Ralph will be proud of me. Maybe this is chump change compared to the stakes he plays for. I quickly fall into a rhythm, feed the machine, pull the lever, wait for the wheels to stop spinning. I get a few more small scores. My stomach growls, and I think about slipping away to one of the casino restaurants to eat before Ralph hunts me down and scolds me about my dietary choices. Where is he, anyway? A sound like a fire alarm. My slot machine lights up. For a second, I think I've done something wrong. I've broken the thing. Someone behind me yells, "Holy shit, she's won 10 grand!" I have? How does he know? I'm too afraid to move. My friend, the old lady, clutches her chest and then my hand. "You did it! God damn it, you did it!" The machine is still going berserk. Lights, bells, a carousel for the insane. A crowd is gathered. People touch my hair, my shoulders, as though I've got magic pixie dust and it might rub off. I'm delirious in shock. 10,000 for pulling a lever? Really? The mob boss or pit viper or whoever he is strolls over with a phalanx of security guards and another guy holding a clipboard with papers for me to sign. Their faces are a blur. I sign the tax forms they present to me. A woman's voice in the crowd blares. "She won how much?" The pit boss smiles in a showy way as he peels off the hundreds. He counts them right into my hand. I can't keep up because my brain's twitching like a squirrel caught under a car tire. The commotion seems to have alerted Ralph. He comes bounding over, breathless and excited. "I don't believe it," he says. "Nobody wins that fucking much dough the first time." Not a trace of envy do I see on Ralph's face. I'm glad he's here because I feel like a walking target holding 10 large in cash plus the coins. My purse is heavy with money. I've got the purse clutched against my breast. Ralph and I are instant celebrities as we walk through the casino. People snort awake from their card shuffling, wheel spinning, lever pulling, dice flinging comas to track our progress to the door. True to form, Ralph waves off the security detail. "Christ, my heart's still doing a fucking loop-de-loop," Ralph says. "You're some kind of lucky, you know that?" Do you think it's rigged? I mean, am I really that lucky? Or is there somebody in a booth somewhere? Some guy, let's say, who saw me and thought, "Aw, hell, let's give Tits McGillicuddy some cash." Nah, it ain't rigged. What about spending some of that lucky dough over at the craps table? My grip on his arm tightens. Not a chance. We're leaving, and I'm never setting foot in a casino again. "You're crazy. Why not?" 10 grand, Ralph. What are the chances that's ever going to happen twice? From Rhode Island, Ralph and I move on to Richmond, Virginia. I feature at some Confederate beer hell where the rednecks stand up every hour to sing Dixie, and they want me to do it too. Right away, I get into trouble. First of all, I'm philosophically opposed to Dixie. Second, I don't know the stupid words. The manager's a fat bastard named Spanky who's about 5 minutes shy of stroking out. When he waddles over to talk to Ralph, all I can think about is finishing Spanky off with a big plate of ribs. "How come that little gal of yours ain't singing?" Spanky asks. Face as bland as a baby's, Ralph says. "Don't you say nothing about it to that girl. It's too fucking painful." "Why's that?" "You don't know? Her great-great-grandfather is Jefferson fucking Davis. Hell, her whole family's still tore up about the war." On the last night of my engagement, Spanky leaves a dozen red roses on my dressing table. I yell at Ralph since he's to blame for Spanky mistaking me for a Confederate sympathizer, but all he does is flash his wicked Sicilian grin. After Richmond, we fly to McAllen, a Texas border town in the Rio Grande Valley noted for its balmy temperatures, rustling palms, and Mexican drug money. The club is gorgeous, almost as nice as the men's club. I make a killing. In the past 4 months, my bank account's seen more action than a New York subway turnstile. Yet it's the hours before dawn that keep getting harder. A strange abyss opens up between the lights and music and applause of my working hours and the gray empty ones that come when I'm locked inside my motel room with a TV, remote, and a Gideon Bible. I would do anything for someone to touch me. Fame isolates. People, your devoted fans, don't want you to say or do anything that might disabuse them of their most cherished notions about who you are. It's the unspoken agreement. You get to be rich and, well, if not famous, then notorious. And they get to denude you of your humanity. They're granted inalienable rights to buggy whip you with their opinions on your hair, your weight, your lifestyle. I experienced this firsthand one day while shopping for sunglasses at a drugstore. One guy sidles over to ask my autograph. Another tells me I look way hotter in photos. I'm continually surprised by the kinds of men who know who I am. Regular guys, guys in suits. I'd always assumed connoisseurs of porn were short, hirsute types who wore grimy wife-beaters and had rancid BO. The ones who couldn't get laid in a whorehouse if you tacked a fresh Benjamin to their foreheads. Some of my fans are actually cute, polite, informed. Yet they are other, and I instinctively know how disastrous it would be if I bridged that divide. I've made my pedestal, and now must stand on it. Loneliness descends like helm clouds over a Bronte moor. I'm running low on any masturbatory wattage of prior trysts, like the one night in a graveyard with the wet grass beneath my butt and a moon the color of a banana cream pie, an afternoon of unbridled kink on an abandoned school bus, or Lou's personal favorite, sex on stage under a spotlight after everyone else had gone home. My motel room is full of ghosts. I can't seem to shake free of them. I am swamped by the certainty that no one will ever love me, and that I will never find anyone to love. I'm so afraid I'll remain trapped in the hot, bright lights of 1,000 stages, splooged on in 1,000 centerfolds, that I'll just eventually disappear. I think of Brigitte Bardot and her animals, Vivian Leigh dying alone from tuberculosis, Marilyn Monroe, who, whether by suicide or homicide, was on a one-woman mission of self-destruction, and all around them the carnage of a million teen beauty queens, pageant princesses, and bikini models whose stars burn briefly enough to foster within them a forlorn hope that someday they will matter, be chosen, made special. Until time, that enemy of youth and beauty, brings down the whole sham like a house of cards. Sex seems to offer the only palliative to my uncertainty about a future Ralph keeps insisting I consider. Even though it's against his rules, I tiptoe outside one night, past the grinding clatter of the ice machine, to a parking lot in the back of the motel. A half-acre or so of undeveloped land, crowded with trees, looms dark and silent beneath the brightness of the motel sign. Only 1 or 2 cars are parked back here, 1 or 2 lighted windows with the drapes pulled tight. I find a dented chair. I inhale the night smells of moon-cooled concrete and truck diesel and skunk. A potato chip bag blows past my feet. In a way, the tiny woods are as frightening as death itself, but not as lonely as the distant sibilance of the freeway washing over me. All those people driving, and no one I know. The night wind is tonic, briny and wet with the smell of the Gulf. Ralph would kill me if he knew I was out here, out of the safe confines of my cell. I realize how steeped in artifice my life has become. Like a vampire, I come alive at night, moving from one glittering venue to the next. I've forgotten the breathless drama of the palmetto bug picking his way across the hostile, alien moonscape of a parking lot. Thanks for listening. I'm Chris Kepler, and I hope you enjoyed listening to these stories as much as I enjoyed narrating them. I'd love for more people to hear these wonderful stories, so please share and tell your friends.